11 Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
Didn't matter what the situation was. And so whether it was community engagement, whether it was working hard at Grady, he was what you would want in a deputy.
Members of law enforcement are in mourning after one of their own was killed.
Well, the 24-year-old Fulton County Sheriff's deputy was found shot to death in Atlanta today, and police are now asking for your help in finding the shooter. So this is what we know. It all unfolded around 4:30 this morning at the intersection of Bolton and Peyton Roads. That's in Atlanta's Riverside neighborhood. This is right near the southwest corner of Chattahoochee Park.
Yeah, Paula Suro is live there now. And Paula, the sheriff, speaking tonight on the impact this deputy had on the community, even though he had been with the agency for less than a year.
Absolutely. You know, Faith, Sheriff Pat Labat says that it is simply a sad day for his office. He says he is now dedicated to finding the person who did this to the 24-year-old deputy who he says was such a bright spirit.
He was the life of the party. Right? He just a very, very good spirit, and it didn't matter what the situation was.
Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat describing what happened today as a heinous crime. The man found shot to death on Bolton Road after 4:30 a.m. was one of his deputies who had been working for the office's Grady Detention Unit for less than 1 year. Labat says the deputy worked last night but is not sure of where he went after work.
We personally recruited him from another police department down south, specifically because of the energy and his love for what he brought to our agency.
Atlanta Police Major Peter Malecki says the deputy was found shot inside his car and he'd been in a crash. They're still trying to figure out if the shooting took place before or after the crash.
We did have a second individual come forward and say that they were involved in an accident with that vehicle. They've been cooperative. At this point, we do not believe that they are directly involved in the shooting.
APD says they don't know if the suspect was on foot or in another car when shots were fired. James Davis lives nearby and says he heard about 5 gunshots.
I heard the helicopters hovering. They've been hovering at that time for about 30 minutes. So of course, you know, I was thinking that it may have been because of the traffic. You know, and a short while later, I heard some gunshots.
APD is now asking anyone who may have seen the victim's Ford Fusion with Mississippi plates near the southwest corner of Chattahoochee Park early this morning to reach out to police. He says the driver who collided with the deputy has been cooperating with police.
The van observed the victim's vehicle kind of driving erratically in the middle of the road on Bolton Road. When they went to pass that vehicle is when they believed they heard a gunfire, and those 2 vehicles did collide at that point.
Now, Crime Stoppers has increased the reward in this case to $10,000. So Atlanta police are asking if you happen to know any information, you reach out to them or anonymously on Crime Stoppers. Guys.
Paula, thank you so much for bringing that to us. And we've been following all of the developments with this story all day long. To stay connected, download the 11 Alive News app right now. It's as easy as scanning that QR code you see right there on your screen. And we have some breaking news coming into the newsroom. We're following breaking news in DeKalb County tonight.
That's right. It's a very developing story here. We know at least 2 people were shot at a KFC. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn joins us live on the scene tonight on Wesley Chapel Road. This is right near Snapfinger Woods Drive. And Cody, what have you learned so far?
We can confirm again, 2 people were shot, and they were shot inside the KFC. I was actually on a separate story interviewing a family when we started getting passed by DeKalb County police officers going code. Come to find out, they were heading to this KFC right now behind me, a very busy intersection here. You can see the windows are shattered out of this KFC. A witness tells me that when he came around the corner of a nearby business, he saw one of the victims shot multiple times, grabbing his abdomen and chest, slumped over, walking out of this KFC. A second victim was found in the parking lot. Both of these victims have been taken to the hospital. Now, I did talk to a KFC employee who says she just can't believe this. All she did was show up for work today, and this happened at her place of employment. Luckily, no innocent bystanders were shot. Again, we do not know the circumstances of what led up to this shooting. DeKalb County Police just confirming to us again, 2 men in their 30s were shot here. Again, witnesses tell us multiple times. Now, DeKalb County is saying this is non-life-threatening injuries, but again, to be shot more than once, obviously they are hurt here pretty bad. We are still working to talk to more witnesses here. We were told that a Brown Expedition was seen leaving this scene, which is believed to be the suspect's vehicle. We'll have much more on this coming up tonight at 11 here on 11 Alive.
All right, Cody, thanks a lot, especially with families possibly in that area as well. So you can download the 11 Alive News app right now to stay up to date on our breaking news stories overnight, and you can also scan the QR code you see on your screen to stay connected. All right, we're going to hit pause here just for a second. We're going to bring in meteorologist Nicole Hartford with a first check of your forecast and more on our end-of-year warm-up, right?
Yes, it was warm already today. Our high temperature, 66 degrees. Not half bad for the end of December. Typically this time of year, we're right around 54. Even our morning low temperatures were a little warmer, a little more comfortable. We got down to 42 this morning. That warming pattern will continue into the weekend as well as into the new year, although high temperatures for tomorrow as well as Saturday will be a few degrees cooler than where they were today just because of the influx of cloud cover as well as the rainfall. Now, it's not going to be cool out there by any means. Right now, temperatures are sitting in the 50s and the low 60s. We're at 61 currently in Atlanta. We've fallen down into the 50s across much of North Georgia, and then we're a little chillier into the Clayton area in the 40s. As we go through the night tonight, we'll start to build in some cloud cover by early tomorrow morning, and the cloud cover tomorrow is going to be a little bit more persistent. Those clouds will again help to keep temperatures milder. So while we're chilly in the 40s tomorrow morning, we're continuing that warming pattern when it comes to our overnight lows. It'll be right around 45 degrees in Atlanta. Right now we're clear as can be on the radar, but already we're pulling in some moisture ahead of our next incoming cold front. This is going to be sweeping through, bringing more widespread rainfall into Friday night as well as Saturday morning. But will it get in the way of your New Year's Eve plans? I'll have that answer coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Nicole. And tonight our thoughts are with a 16-year-old boy's family after he fell through a partially frozen lake in Cobb County and died. And there were several kids on Ellison Lake in Kennesaw when two boys fell in yesterday afternoon. Rescuers were able to immediately pull one of them out, but it took them 90 minutes to find the second boy. They tried to resuscitate him, but he died at the hospital. And earlier today, 11 Alive talked with a witness who says she called 911 when she noticed the kids on the lake.
As I was pulling out of my driveway, backing out of my driveway, I looked over my shoulder and I saw one of the kids on the ice. And I knew, I grew up in the Northeast. I know ice rules, and it really terrified me. And I thought, this is not going to end well.
Yeah, our thoughts are with that boy's family tonight. Cobb Fire says surface water temps were as low as 28 degrees, making it dangerous for rescuers. One had to be treated for hypothermia, another for cuts suffered during that rescue. And today's developments in the YSL RICO case involved 6 more suspects who are now dropped because of a deadline. Initially, 28 people were named in the indictment by the district attorney's office. That includes rappers Young Thug and Gunna. Gunna has taken a plea deal and he was already released. 4 of the suspects do not have lawyers to have not been arrested, and 7 more have taken plea deals. Jury selection for the remaining defendants is set to start next week. And the FBI is asking for your help identifying these vandalism suspects in Atlanta. Take a look here on your screen. 10 people are accused of vandalizing the Ebenezer Baptist Church on Jackson Street. This happened back on July 3rd. The message on the church read, quote, "If abortions aren't safe, neither are you." If you have any information, you're asked to call the FBI tip line. That number is 1-800-CALL-FBI. There is a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to IDs and arrest. And happening right now, crews in DeKalb County working to put out a vehicle fire that got out of control. You can take a look at the scene captured just moments ago from our 11 Alive Sky Tracker. This was at a home along Murphy Street in Scottdale. We're told that this all started as a vehicle fire in a garage when the fire actually spread to the house. DeKalb Fire telling us tonight that there were no reported injuries. And after days of hounding Clayton County leaders about massive water outages, 11 Alive can finally report it's back on for most people tonight. Many of you reaching out for help when you couldn't get answers from the county on repairs for the leaks and the broken pipes that left people without water for up to 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, that's a long time. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates spent all week long pushing county officials looking for those answers. She joins us now live in Bobeth. A lot of relief tonight, right?
That's right, Ron. A lot of relief. People are celebrating, and what they're telling me is that with the exception of 7 apartment complexes and 2 mobile home parks, water has been restored for much of the area. But despite that, the damage of the big freeze will linger on for many, including several Clayton County schools.
Mount Zion High School, we had quite a significant leak, but we had significant leaks at other locations as well.
Clayton County Superintendent Dr. Anthony Smith confirming several schools had massive water leaks after pipes burst on school property this week.
We had Mount Zion High School, we had Kilpatrick Elementary, we had Forest Park Middle, we had Morrow High School, old and new, and we had Utopian Academy. There's a few others that had some what I consider minor issues, but all of them have been addressed.
And while there are lingering issues at some schools, Smith says it won't impact students returning from holiday break next week.
In some cases, there are ongoing damage. For instance, Adamson Middle School, we're concerned about the gymnasium floor. But overwhelmingly, we feel comfortable about having school on January the 3rd and January the 4th for our students without any significant distractions.
Now, in addition to the damage at Clayton County schools, pipes also burst at the Clayton County Justice Center and the jail, but officials say all of that burst pipes and damage have been cleaned up, so they're back to operating. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
A lot of relief there in Clayton County. Thanks a lot. You know, here's a live look right now in Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, where it's been another topsy-turvy day for Southwest Airlines. As we came on air tonight at 6 o'clock, the tracking website FlightAware showed 92 total canceled flights coming to or out of Atlanta, but all but 2 were Southwest Airlines. So that's roughly 4% of Southwest's entire fleet. Today, the world's largest low-cost carrier says that it expects to return to normal operations tomorrow. Southwest executives told 11 Alive and told the employees that crew scheduling this week, a major cause of that meltdown, has been fixed. And as for those passengers who were left stranded, the airline added a page to the website inviting them to submit receipts for any unexpected expenses. Well, get ready. Atlanta is getting ready to welcome in 2023 with the return of the peach drop. We're going to hear how the city is making sure everything this weekend is done safely when we come back.
All right, we're taking you up to the Big Apple. Take a look at that. That's a live look now on Midtown Manhattan. And that's where Times Square is, where in a little less than 54 hours from now, hundreds of thousands of people will ring in the new year. And it's estimated that around 1 million people will be at that world-renowned plaza this weekend to bring in 2023.
Yeah, that's right. So folks right here in Atlanta, we got some celebrating to do on our own, right? Yeah. So Saturday night, the long-awaited return of the peach drop. That's going to happen here. 11 Alive's Don White shares how city officials are planning to keep the event safe for everyone.
Georgia loves its peaches, but Atlanta's iconic peach hasn't dropped since 2019 due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're glad to see it back.
The original event started in 1989 and included dropping an 800-pound peach. This year's free fun starts at 6 p.m. Saturday at Underground Atlanta. Police expect 50 to 60,000 people to attend.
The planning process has been for a couple of months, but a few days prior we do a very heavy physical and video surveillance, aerial surveillance through our drone program and our helicopter unit.
No guns are allowed in the peach drop area.
Again, there'll be fireworks out here you can enjoy. If you just want to hear noise, look at the fireworks and enjoy that. And try to avoid, just do not do any celebratory gunfire. It's illegal and it's dangerous.
Adults must be with kids 16 and younger after 11 p.m.
This event will carry out through the curfew time, so any teens, we have to follow the rules with the existing curfew. There has not been any adjustments made for that as of this time.
Police encourage you to use rideshare, MARTA, or...
We have meter parking along with paid parking in lots. Just make sure it's well lit and that they normally have some type of mechanical type of pay system, or you could do it on your phone.
A clear bag policy will be in effect for the peach drop, and other agencies are helping to provide security. Dawn White, 11 Alive News.
All right, Faith, why don't we go from the peach drop to the peach bowl? Is going to be rocking Saturday night at the Benz for Georgia and Ohio State, squaring off with a spot in the national title game on the line. But it turns out this game is bigger than just football, as Atlanta businesses are expected to score big with this boost to the economy. According to data from Peach Bowl Incorporated, it's expected $60 million of economic impact thanks to Saturday night's Peach Bowl alone. William Pate, the president and CEO of Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau, also says because it's on New Year's Eve, the economy is going to get some extra points.
You kind of get this double whammy. You get the folks who are coming in for the game, but then you also get folks who are coming downtown for part of the celebration.
That's pretty cool. So Peach Bowl Incorporated says that the most recent semifinal games attendance of more than 78,000 people set a brand new Peach Bowl in Mercedes-Benz Stadium record.
Ooh, there are going to be some people down there, despite the weather, rain or shine. I know people are going to be all the way downtown because of the Peach Bowl and everything going on. We're going to head back to Nicole for a look at your full forecast. We're shaping up for a rather balmy New Year's Eve, Nicole.
It is going to be warm, and it'll be even warmer as we enter into the new year. Your forecast highs for New Year's Eve are right around 63 degrees, and then by Monday, high temperatures climb up to near 70. Abnormally warm for this time of year. With that rise in warmth, we will start to see some building humidity as well. High temperatures tomorrow are going to get up into the 60s. It'll be similar, perhaps a couple degrees less warm than today, just because we will have a good deal more cloud cover as well as a few spotty showers, but still above average. That rise in humidity will be more apparent by Saturday. It'll start to feel a little bit muggier, and then into Monday and Tuesday, that humidity climbs as well. This kind of directs your eye to which days we could also potentially have rainfall, those high humidity days. So Saturday, as well as Tuesday and into Wednesday, that's when we'll see our best chances for rain over the next week. With this kind of spring-like pattern of warm temperatures, it will also be more unsettled, which means better chances for rainfall. Here's a view of your radar right now. Already we're pulling in some of that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. It's resulting in scattered showers and storms through Texas as well as Louisiana into Arkansas, Mississippi, and this is all ahead of an incoming cold front. So as this cold front sweeps across the continental U.S., all that moisture is also going to be moving our way as well. Already we're pulling in a few high clouds, especially off towards the west, but so far not really seeing any changes. That'll start to happen overnight tonight. Cloud cover builds in by tomorrow morning. We may even see a couple spotty showers throughout the day tomorrow, although rainfall I think will be very hit and miss. We'll end up staying mostly dry, so Friday is still going to be a very comfortable day, just not quite as bright and sunny. The rainfall becomes more widespread by the evening hours, so 9, 10, 11 o'clock. These scattered showers and storms push in from the west. These could come with pockets of heavy rainfall as well. This first round of rain, this moves through during the overnight hours, and then behind it, more rainfall develops. So while Saturday is not going to be a washout by any means, it is going to be soggy for some during the morning hours. Notice that activity, though, is rather scattered. And then into the afternoon and evening, it becomes even more isolated, which should be really good news for your evening plans and for your New Year's Eve plans if you're thinking ahead to Saturday night as well. This is midnight as the Peach is dropping, and we're not seeing any rainfall on the radar, although I'm not going to rule out a couple isolated showers and storms lingering even into the overnight hours. We will dry out for the end of the weekend, and then we'll bring those rain chances back into Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, thanks a lot, Nicole. Some of the best college football players in the country taken to the field right here in Atlanta on Saturday. Coming up next, Reggie Chapman has more on the top talent on display at the Peach Bowl.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Reggie Chapman with your sports, coming to you from inside of the College Football Hall of Fame following Peach Bowl Media Day. Georgia and Ohio State both speaking to the media for 45 minutes, giving us a chance to ask about really whatever we wanted. And of course, there's plenty to talk about heading to a marquee matchup like this. Two teams with plenty of talent, two storied programs looking to get to the championship game.
I certainly think when you talk about the caliber of recruits that Ohio State has, our kids know their kids and they know each other from the recruiting experience. There's a lot of overlap there between Ohio State and Georgia, and I think the familiarity kind of brings on a new energy of competition. They want to go compete against the best, and this will be two of the premier programs going against each other.
Whether it's, you know, the front, the linebackers, the tight ends, or like you said, the receivers and DBs, you're going against, you know, your clone. You know, you're going against, you know, a guy who's as talented as you are. So you have to embrace that role. You have to embrace the fact that you're going against really good players.
Naturally, there's a lot of conversation about the match between Georgia's secondary and Ohio State's talented wide receiver core, a challenge that both these sides are excited to take on.
We haven't played this kind of offense the whole year. They have about 4 receivers that can go. That will make them different from the other teams.
We really haven't played anybody that meets our athletic ability on the receiver side, so besides for like Penn State. It's going to be definitely a challenge for us. They're very athletic and they're confident too.
For Georgia, it's going to be 28 days since they last played and won the SEC championship game, and they're hoping that the experience of going through a long layoff following an SEC championship game like they did last year will help them come Saturday at the Benz. Covering the Peach Bowl, I'm Reggie Chapman, 11 Live Sports.
Your Friday planner still looks good, maybe not quite as good as what we had today. There will be more cloud cover, so we'll stay mostly cloudy. High temperatures, though, won't be impacted all that much. We'll wake up in the 40s. We'll heat up into the low 60s across the Atlanta area. A few showers are possible, but I think most of the rain will hold off until later Friday evening. By about 10 or 11 o'clock, we'll start to see more widespread rain. That'll linger overnight and into Saturday morning, and then kind of taper off during the day on Saturday, so hopefully dry by the time the peach is dropping.
Awesome.
And a big happy birthday to Ron's wife, Tammy. Thank you all so much for watching 11 Alive News at 6. Happy birthday, girl.
Good night, everyone.